Well, this video is very interesting because I never thought in my life I would actually make it. I made multiple videos complaining about this topic, but I never actually thought I would follow through because it's corporations. But we actually did manage to end up making somewhat of a change, guys. We actually did make change. So in the back of my mind, in the back of your guys' mind, we were always right, and we did actually end up following through with this. What is this topic that I'm talking about, by the way? You guys are clicking on this video, and you're wondering, like, oh, what is he getting at here? And what it is that I'm talking about skill-based matchmaking. Skill-based matchmaking, at this current moment in time, is the #1 complaint about gaming worldwide. It's the #1 complaint when it comes to anything about gaming and online multiplayer, because nobody wants to compete against the exact copy of their sweaty selves, and nobody wants to feel like they have to try their absolute hardest in order to have fun at the game. And for right now, in the case of Fortnite, Epic did something unspeakable. They did something crazy. They did something that we honestly will not truly ever believe. And there's going to be some people that are going to doubt this. But Fortnite and Epic Games, for right now, at least as I'm recording this video, 5/5/20, they actually removed skill-based matchmaking. They actually removed skill-based matchmaking. And I know this sounds like some sort of sick joke, like saying like, oh yeah, they removed skill-based matchmaking, and then you feel like you're in the most sweatiest lobby of all time. Now, yes, I understand that this is not going to be perfect what I said, because there's a couple exceptions to this. #1, it's only in Fortnite, so if you don't like Fortnite, then unfortunately this does not apply to you. Secondly, this is only in squads mode. Only in squads. So if you're playing squads and you're playing solo with randoms or with your buddies, then you don't have to worry about sweating your dick off. But if you're playing duos or solos even, and I'm not sure about team deathmatch, I'll have to get back to you on that one, but any of the other modes that I'm aware of do have skill-based matchmaking still, so that you will still have to face against potential sweats. But in turn, you do have a mode that you can play now if you're sick of the sweats. You can play an optional mode that you know doesn't have skill-based matchmaking. I've petitioned for an idea for a long time that if they're not going to want to go back to the old ways of having a boot camp mode where they let the new guys warm up for a couple of their first few games and then eventually get thrown into the lobbies with the normal players, I was making the proposal that one mode will just be the non-skill-based matchmaking mode, and they can cycle it in and out and have it for a couple of days at a time, or a couple of whatever weekends that they want. I don't know how they want to cycle in and out because everyone's different, but just a rotating non-skill-based matchmaking mode in and out, kind of like Mercenary, how that's no parties, which is, I guess, supposedly supposed to be like a non-skill-based matchmaking mode, not really. Something similar to that caliber, just making it easier for just somebody that just wants to hop on is basically what I'm getting at here. And then also the last thing is that I don't know if this mode is going to be permanent, nor do I know that if this is going to go outside of Fortnite. So I don't know if Overwatch is going to do this, I don't know if Call of Duty is going to do this, I do not know if any other game is going to do this, but it is a start. It's a very good start, and this is now a building block for what can be. Epic has proven time and time again that what we want is not only not unreasonable, but it's possible. Fortnite has set the standard for gaming, whether you like it anymore or whether you liked it in the first place or not. It is the standard of gaming in terms of gaming communication with the developer. They have done countless updates to fix their game. They have listened. They have added in features that we cannot even fathom. And whether or not that you agree or you disagree, it's not the point. It's the general idea is that it just is what it is. Fortnite and Epic did listen, and you have to acknowledge that, whether you agree with it or not. And the way I look at this is that this is a win for us. If we actually can get Epic or Fortnite, the #1 game in the world, because even though a lot of people don't like it as much as they used to anymore, it's still the #1 game in the world. If we can get Fortnite to do it, I don't see why we can't get any other developer to do it. I don't understand why we can't get the developers, like, let's say, Activision Blizzard, or Bungie, or Treyarch, or, whatever have you, to remove skill-based matchmaking from their games. It's not unreasonable. And, like, if you think about it really, if you really honestly think about it, what's fair is having it 50-50. Having it 100% both ways is just kind of unfair. So I can understand from the developer side, and I can also understand from our side. But fair is fair, and so if you split it down the middle, that's called compromise. And like a lot of game developers, and sometimes even us, don't always see that or see eye to eye. Like we always want our way, or it's just not gonna happen. And the problem is though, is that at the end of the day, that just doesn't solve anything. So this is what I have to say, is that number one, this is a fantastic start. This is actually incredible. The fact that they even listened and acknowledged the fact about skill-based matchmaking and tried to fix it. Kudos to you, Epic. Kudos to you tremendously. Secondly, this shows once again another standard that Epic has set, that anything that we say is not unreasonable and actually is possible. We've talked about, let's talk about the one other big issue before this, back right before Fortnite came out, which was cosmetics and loot boxes. Fortnite proved that you can have a modern game with no supply drops and still have it be successful. Might I add that it's also the #1 game in the world, and they set that standard. They could have easily just went the supply drop route, and they didn't, and they became #1 for that. Oh my god, like, can you guys not see that? Like, the haters and everything are just gonna block this out, I know they are, but for those of you guys that do have a common piece of sense, you see that, right? You honestly see that, and it's like, oh crap, you're right. And that's just amazing to me. And I'm very, very happy if that's the case. Now, the one thing I wish that they would do is that they would expand this to all modes, but the thing is though, is that I don't want to push them, but I will still mention it periodically, like maybe every now and then. But I'm not going to give Epic as much crap as I used to, because they've proven me wrong that they actually do listen. And I want to see them do it, again. I want to see them actually follow through with it again. And I don't want it to be another case where we basically bully Epic again into them not listening, because they're finally starting to listen again. There was a time where I felt like they weren't listening because we just basically complained no matter what they did. And I feel like that we're catching on to that now. But think about it one last time. Really, really think about it. Just literally a few hours ago, because right now I'm recording this the day that it happened, just a few hours ago, we didn't think that skill-based matchmaking would ever be removed from modern gaming. And before that, we didn't think that supply drops would be moved from modern gaming. And before that, we didn't think that developers would listen to us and add in updates on a regular basis and fix things and stuff like that. Gaming always keeps changing, and it does keep getting better over time. And the things that used to be problems, we just completely just don't even realize now because they're fixed and we just take them for granted. And that's kind of the case right now with skill-based matchmaking. I feel like eventually this is once again going to be taken for granted, and then they're going to add it back and they'll be like, oh, whoa, wait a second there, buckaroo. Don't you dare put that back in. We were, enjoying that there. And it's just, I feel like this is a life lesson here. In fact, I think this whole entire year of 2020 has just been a life lesson. Is that just be thankful for what you have and don't take things for granted, because they can be taken away in the blink of an eye. And at the same time, it's just don't give up faith. Sure, Fortnite has been out for the longest time, and skill-based matchmaking wasn't brand new. Skill-based matchmaking actually didn't even get added into Fortnite until very later on. Like, Fortnite didn't get skill-based matchmaking until, I believe, the beginning of Chapter 2. And so that was almost about a year ago. So Fortnite took a year to remove it just from one mode. And that's better than what you could say for a lot of other developers. And the supply drop thing and the cosmetic thing, Call of Duty had that for like the last 6 years. They had from Advanced Warfare to Black Ops 4. And then for just developers listening in general, it took us to get to a next-gen console to get consistent updates. 360, when it came to developers and stuff like that, they would update a couple of bug fixes, and then other than that, they would just give you 1 of 4 DLCs every couple of 3 months, and that was it. They just didn't care, or they didn't care as much. And things have gotten better, and I want that to be known. So for skill-based matchmaking, to wrap things up here, great standard to set with Epic, and I hope it continues into other modes. Preferably the next game I would like to see it in general would probably be like Call of Duty or something, just because that's just my main mode, and I know a lot of people would want that removed out of Call of Duty, because supply drops used to be the big thing. Now it's skill-based matchmaking. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for today's video, guys. If you did enjoy, I would greatly appreciate if you could drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below, once again, on skill-based matchmaking. and just let me know whether or not that this will even influence you to play Fortnite at all, just because I am curious if it'll bring you back. But yeah, guys, hope you end up enjoying. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out, guys.